Your baby isn't talking yet. And every time someone asks, is he saying any words? You feel it, that knot in your chest, the split second where you smile and say not yet and hope they don't push further. By the end of this video, that confusion is gone. You'll know exactly what's normal, what isn't, and 3 specific things you can do starting today that actually make a difference. No guessing, no 2 a.m. Googling, just clarity. Stay with me because the third thing catches almost every parent off guard. Let's start with what's actually happening inside your baby's brain right now, because most parents are watching for the wrong thing entirely. When you're waiting for your baby to talk, you're watching for words, but your baby's brain isn't building words yet. It's building something that has to come first, something you can't see, something most parents never think about. It's called the language foundation. Before a house has walls, it needs a foundation. You can't see it once the house is built, but without it, nothing holds. Your baby's brain is doing exactly that right now, pouring the foundation. The words, the actual talking, those are the walls. They come later, but only if what's underneath is solid. Here's what that foundation is made of: joint attention, back and forth communication, sound awareness, emotional connection to language. None of these look like anything obvious, but they need to be happening long before the first word ever arrives. And here's where most parents lose months they didn't know they were losing. They wait for words, they watch and wait and worry. And while they're waiting, the window where their input matters most is quietly closing. That's not a reason to panic, it's a reason to move, and that's what this video is for. So when should a baby actually be talking? Here are the real numbers, not the vague ranges on parenting websites, but the benchmarks pediatric speech pathologists actually use. By 6 months, consonant sounds, ba, ma, de, not words, sounds. A 6-month-old who is mostly silent is worth paying attention to. By 9 months, back and forth babbling. Your baby should be having conversations with you in sounds, even though neither of you is saying real words. That vocal turn-taking is one of the strongest predictors of later language development. By 12 months, 1 to 3 words with meaning, mama, dada, baba, attached to something real, words with intent, not just sound. By 18 months, at least 10 words, consistently, not occasionally, consistently. By 24 months, 50 words minimum and 2-word combinations, more milk, daddy go, no sleep, 2 words strung together on purpose. These numbers are not a test, they are a map. And if your baby is significantly behind one or more of these markers, not by a week or 2, but by a month or more, that is information. Useful information that lets you act early, when acting early actually changes things. The research on this is consistent. Early intervention for speech delays produces dramatically better outcomes than intervention that starts at 3 or 4. The brain at 12, 18, 24 months is more plastic, more ready to build language than it will ever be again. Which means right now, whatever age your baby is, you have real power here. Thing 1, respond to everything. Your baby is communicating with you right now, just not with words. They're using sounds, gestures, eye contact, pointing, reaching, facial expressions. Every single one of those is a communication attempt. Babies whose caregivers consistently respond to nonverbal communication develop language faster than babies whose attempts go unnoticed. Not because those parents don't care, because they didn't know this was happening. Every time your baby points at something, name it. Every time they make a sound, reflect it back. Every time they reach toward you, put it into words. You want up, up you go. You're pointing at the dog's dog, that's the dog. You are teaching your baby something that cannot be taught any other way, that communication works. That when I send a signal, something happens, that my sounds and gestures have power. That lesson before any word is what makes words possible. Thing 2, shrink your sentences. This surprises parents most, and it makes the fastest difference. Most parents talk to their babies the way they talk to other adults. Long sentences, full explanations. Come on, sweetheart, let's go get your shoes and your jacket because we need to leave soon and it's a bit cold outside today. A developing brain cannot process that, not because your baby isn't smart, because language processing at this stage has a hard capacity limit and long sentences blow past it. What works is called child-directed speech adjustment. It sounds like this. Shoes, let's get your shoes. Shoes on, their shoes. Short, repetitive, one idea at a time, slightly slower, more expression on your face. You're not dumbing things down, you're matching the input to the processor, giving your baby's brain exactly the format it needs to start pulling patterns, building vocabulary, connecting sounds to meaning. One word said clearly, and repeated beats 10 words said once. Say the word, pause, say it again, point to it, let the silence sit. Something is happening in that silence, don't fill it. Thing 3, kill the background noise. This is the hardest one and the most underestimated. Babies learn language from signal, not noise. Your voice directed at your baby is signal. The TV in the background, the podcast playing while you make dinner, music in the car, noise. Babies in high background noise environments hear more language, but they learn less of it. Because a developing auditory system cannot filter your voice from competing audio the way adult brains can. When there's a television or radio in the room, your baby's brain cannot tell which sounds matter. So it processes less of everything. 2 hours of daily background television has been shown to measurably reduce the number of words babies produce at 18 and 24 months. Your home doesn't need to be silent. It means when you're talking to your baby, really talking, the background is off. You are the only voice, and your baby's brain can actually lock on. 20 minutes of quiet, face-to-face, intentional conversation is worth more than 4 hours of language floating in the background. 20 minutes, you already have it. When do you actually call the doctor? If your baby has missed 2 or more of those milestones by a month or more, call your pediatrician. Not because something is definitely wrong, because early assessment tells you something and knowing is always better than guessing. A speech-language pathologist can look at the whole picture, joint attention, sound discrimination, back-and-forth communication, and tell you in one session whether you need a plan or just some reassurance. Most parents leave with one of those two things, both beat waiting and wondering. If your pediatrician brushes you off without a referral, pushback, you are with your baby every day. A parent's instinct about their child's development is one of the most reliable early signals researchers have identified. Trusted enough to ask twice. Your baby not talking yet doesn't mean something is wrong. It might mean the foundation is still going in. It might mean a slightly different input unlocks what's already there. It might mean they're 2 weeks from a language explosion that'll make this whole video feel unnecessary. Or they might need a little extra support. And getting that before age 2 changes outcomes in ways that starting at 3 simply cannot. Start today, not tomorrow, not after the next checkup. Today, because the window your baby's brain is in right now won't stay open. You watching, worrying, searching, staying up late Googling, you're already doing the most important thing. You're paying attention. That's not anxiety, that's love. And that love, pointed in the right direction, is exactly what your baby needs. Share this with a parent who needs it. Leave a comment with your baby's age and where they are with language. I read every one. You have more power than you think.